Go.
What's up, everybody? I'm Nick Catto,
And I'm Spencer Breland.
and this is our review discussion of Dead Cells. Yes, we're back after
Finally.
what seems like a million years. My audio should sound a lot better,
It's
hopefully.
10
I
times
spent
better.
I spent like $150 on a Blue Yeti blackout microphone.
Highly
So
recommend.
yes, so I'm enjoying it. It's my first time using it. First, sorry about the how late the Dead Cells review is, because I first want to
Yeah, go
thank
ahead.
Motion Twin for sending us a review code of Dead Cells.
Yep.
So we did get a review code early. It's late because the second I downloaded the game, my Xbox broke, and I just got it back. And Microsoft sent me my Xbox without my cords, and my cords
What?
came like 4 days later. So I didn't get to play the game until I don't know. I think maybe 5 days ago, and I don't ever want to do a review without having
Yeah.
ample game time. So,
Which,
that
honestly,
would be a review then.
They sent the Xbox back a lot faster than I was expecting.
They did. I was pleased. The cord fiasco is a little much, but it's whatever. I can live with it. So we're gonna jump into the review discussion of the game. I have somewhat vastly different opinions on the game than majority of people, which is surprising because I'm living my dream right now with 2D. The Messenger comes out tomorrow.
I was
It's
gonna say,
the 29th.
It's
I
like a
can't wait.
renaissance of
Dude,
2D
I'm loving it. Hollow Knight. I'm not a big Guacamelee guy, so I skipped that. Chasm I was playing. But about Dead Cells. This game is a game of two... It's like a tale of two things for me. The combat and the roguelite elements of it. So it's supposedly a fusion of roguelite. I'm pretty sure it's light, not like.
Yeah, it's
roguelite and Metroidvania. I don't really get the Metroidvania part. I do a little bit because you can explore the map, but it's, to me, if I had to do the split of it, to me personally, it's like 80-20.
Yeah.
More to there. So what should we start with? Should we start with the combat elements or the roguelite elements?
I say the combat.
All right, so we'll start out
phenomenal.
Good.
Yeah.
So to me, I always say gameplay's king. I guess also before we start, we have 4 standards of review. We don't do numbers. We do must play, highly recommend, do not recommend.
Yep.
So that's where we are in this. The combat. I described this combat as almost like a Zen-like state when you get a couple hours into the game and everything starts flowing.
Yeah.
I'm scared to use the word fast-paced and fluid. I don't, but
it's
kind of like that. It is fast-paced and fluid. I know a lot of reviewers used those terms.
You can be fast-paced, but then you also take it very, very slow if you want.
Yeah, and you could be slow-trotting if you want, but my favorite part about it, and why I say it's Zen-like, is once you understand the weapon mechanics, and as you get further in your run, when you get the things, all the items mesh so well with each other. So, you could be running, for instance, there's a ice blast, and a bow, and a grenade. There's times where you run in, you roll, throw the ice blast, freeze them, into the grenade, into your sword and stuff.
Yeah.
Or if you want, there's a ground stomp if you do down A.
Yeah. Ground
stomp, stun, freeze, or sometimes I ran double grenades, down stomp, grenade, hit. It's one of the best 2D platformer, Metroidvania, whatever you want to call it, combat I've ever played. And that's why this is such a controversial game to me. The thing, like I said, interesting array of weapons. You got swords, electro whips, bows, grenades, ice blasts.
Yeah, and a lot of it you pick up throughout the level. You don't start out with.
Yes, and as you go through the level, you get blueprints and cells off of. That's more like the roguelike part, but you find little, I guess they're blueprints as well, little pages that level you up, and you can choose whether to level up your physical attack, your purple weapons, which are your bows, kind of like your range stuff, or you can level up your health and vitality to try to survive your run longer. So I like that element in it. Um, I didn't really find a huge reason to explore the maps for that, but it's there if you'd like. Um, I I don't know. What did you think of the combat? Or do you agree with me in this?
I totally agree with you. I think to me it was fast fluid because that's just how I played. I wasn't taking my time. I was literally shooting through the level because the
You
respawn
can
rate.
speedrun.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can speed run, but the respawn rate is so fast, and whenever you start back, you don't feel like you're playing the same map again because it is. Is it procedurally generated? I think.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yes,
Because every
it
time
feels like it.
yeah, every time I played through it, it was different. So I always felt like I was getting new experience. I wasn't being negatively impacted for dying or that type of thing.
I was slightly, but that would be in the roguelite element of the review. But um, I don't know. That like the combat's the starring feature of this. It got repetitive after a while with it. If you're really trying to like run through it, if you take your time, you can
Yeah,
get through the game. Once you play it for a couple hours, if you don't do anything too dangerous, you can get your running. You'll probably struggle with like the boss,
yeah,
like the boss fights,
yeah. I got to
but
that one.
besides that, you know.
See,
And my first boss encounter, I had like the throwing daggers
yeah,
and my electric whip and the grenade and ice blast. So it's pretty good. I'm gonna double into the roguelike element of the review now because you talked about
okay,
how you felt like dying didn't really do anything. To me, the whenever I tried to speed run it, which there's timed gates
yeah.
that you can get in.
Which
When
oftentimes I got to them and it was like, oh, you're
they're
supposed to be
like
here
2 seconds.
Well, no,
Yep.
I was like 3 minutes ago. It's like, oh, you're
Oh
supposed to be
my
here
God.
3 minutes ago. I was like, oops.
The most annoying aspect whenever because you have to go down the elevators majority of the
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
you accidentally hit the button
yeah.
and the elevator and it caused you and you get there and it's like this gate closed 3 seconds ago.
It's like your damn elevator was faster.
God damn it. It's like come on. But every time I died and started over, it was one of the more annoying things to me because I did not find the levels that interesting
Yeah.
in the beginning, and
Well, I
that's
mean, you could speed
honestly
run
where
it.
you spend.
Yeah.
You can speed run it, but having to go through those all the time,
Yeah.
I don't think the proceed. Like I remember, I said I didn't really feel like exploring for any of these things. I didn't find the levels interesting. I didn't. I don't. When they changed it up, it didn't really matter to me. It just felt like kind of like
Well,
not great
that's the
procedural generation.
kind of thing
me,
you
like-
lose whenever you do procedural generations because you can't have it as detailed or anything. It's more
Yes.
of just hey, here's a few things, and it's going to be just rearranged every time.
Yeah, like for me, Chasm. It could be like different things. I found that procedurally generated. The world was still interesting to me enough to go and try to 100% it and stuff like that and see every bit of it.
Yeah.
This one, I was just trying to like get to the next group of enemies as fast as I can just to keep that combat flowing.
Yeah.
But when you're going through the game, you collect cells from enemies,
Yep.
which you use to level up, blueprints, and some of the updates that you get from the blueprints are permanent. So you don't lose everything. You keep your cell progression through your blueprints through all your runs. So let's say you want to unlock level 2 of your health potion.
Or your gold
It's like
reserve.
50.
Or,
Yeah, it's like 50 cells.
Yep.
You can, let's say you got 15 cells on your run and you died, but you pumped 15 in there. That'll be there on your next run. And after each level ends, you go to a room where you have to spend all your stuff
before you exit.
So yeah, so it's good with that. Like for instance, some of your permanent upgrades, which goes into the exploring mechanic. Let's say there's a little thing you could tickle before that, like pops a vine up. You can climb and get to different areas that you couldn't get to before.
Yep.
That part was fine. It made me feel like I was progressing. My biggest problem with it is that I didn't ever feel like I was progressing. Because one of my favorite things about like Metroidvanias and stuff is like feeling my character getting stronger,
Yeah.
getting my new weapons, but constantly starting back with like rusty sword.
Yeah, I was going to say you
Stuff.
basically
And you
start
get
over.
like the same. Like I didn't really like it. Like I said, the level design was uninspiring to me and lacking character. I found myself not being able to play this game for long periods of time.
Really?
I could honestly, like 30, 40 minutes tops.
Yeah,
Like
I could see that.
and I
Short
was off.
burst.
Like I couldn't do it. Which is why this game's on Switch.
Yeah,
Which is
it'd be
why
the
I wrote on it.
Because
Perfect game for the Switch. It's like hey, I don't have these because I live in a really small town, so I don't really have like commutes. I have to drive everywhere.
yeah,
But let's say you have like a train ride, or you're riding in a car to school or something, and you're like, well, I got like 20 minutes to kill or something like that. Pop in Dead Cells,
it'd be the
it'll be
perfect
great.
game. Yeah,
But at my house,
yeah,
the short burst stuff doesn't really fit for me.
no,
But other than that, it's still really good. Like I said, it's more roguelite than Metroidvania. The speedrunning mechanics adds even more to the short burst
yeah,
aspect of it. So, to me, the game is struggling with absolutely like god tier 2D combat, and what I think's compared to other roguelite and roguelike games, I honestly don't really know the difference between the two. I know you can flame me if you want in the comments. It's whatever. Like Rogue Legacy, Chasm, and things of that nature, it's kind of lacking to me in that aspect. Yeah. So one of the big Metroidvania features of it didn't hit with me. So that's basically all I have. I also enjoyed the sense of humor the game had. I wanted to add that in there. Like when you knock on the door or something like that, they usually have like a funny quip or something like that. I enjoyed it. It was a good game. I don't know if you have anything else to add on the roguelite elements of the game, or what you thought of the atmosphere.
I will touch back on just like the whole gameplay thing. It's kind of weird. I'll throw you a curveball. It's like with Destiny 2. Gameplay is king. That game has like, it's not a great story. It's not like a amazing world to explore, but the gameplay just keeps me going back to that game. And that is the same way with this game. It will keep me going back probably for the next few weeks before things gets busy.
Yeah, I could see myself picking it up on Switch.
Yeah.
It's not the home at Xbox. I think this is one of those like best on Switch games. I didn't play it on Switch yet, so I'm not 100% sure how it performs.
I was going to say, I did hear that the when you're in handheld mode, I want to say it's like the inputs are a little delayed, but they are working on a patch for that. But they are a small team, so they said it would be like October before that patch came.
Yes. So do you know? Think of this. What I would love Motion Twin to do next: take this combat and just build your world.
Yeah. Don't do that.
And just make a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
And I'm all in. It would be great. So that's pretty much all I have for this review discussion.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was just a tale of two things. So for me personally, I would recommend this game if you're playing it on Xbox or PlayStation. If you have a Switch, if they patch the performance bug, which I have not seen, I would highly recommend it because I think it's the perfect short burst. I just want to have some fun. Godlike combat. Combat like 10 out of 10 to me.
Yeah.
Roguelite, not so much. So that's my overall thoughts on Dead Cells.
And I would have to agree with you. Same exact versions. The recommend on console. Like I said, haven't played it on Switch, so I would probably wait till they do put out that patch before I grabbed it, and then I would highly recommend, like Nick said, because this is a game where it's short bursts, because you are going to be playing through those first few levels several times, so it gets old after a while. But combat in this game is king, and yeah,
I also think that it kind of got, just with the time it came out, around so many 2D platformers
it's kind of weird
Metroidvanias and stuff, like
how
so
they
many
all came out together, and it's like the Messenger. It's getting like great reviews right now.
I got a couple 10s and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but Motion Twin, you made a great game.
You did.
I am not at all like crapping on the game. I had a lot of fun with it. It's great, perfect Switch game once they patched the performance issues. So that's my thoughts on it. Yep. Thank you all for watching.
Until next time.
Next review, probably The Messenger or something like that. Who knows? So thank you very much.
We'll see.
Keep gaming. See you.
You mean to tell me that I'm busting my ass? I'm sending money home.